Hello.
Hi, this is Diana with Metal Life.
Hi, Diana. This is David here.
Hi, David. Just calling for the interview. Are you ready for this?
I am ready, sure.
All right. Well, we will start right off with the new album. So obviously you have a new album coming out here real soon. Just tell us a little bit about it.
Well, it's called Nocturnes of Hellfire Damnation, and it's, I guess, musically, stylistically, it contains a little bit of the attitudes and feelings and moods of some of our records, from the more aggressive things like Noble Savage up through, including the more grandiose, symphonic, over-the-top things from Marriage or The House of Atreus, and the darkness of the last two records. So it's a little bit of everything. Plus, it also features this kind of, I guess it's a newer strain. It's always been there, but it's creeping more into my writing, what I call the Gothic blues style, as represented by songs like Haunted Will Shine on the second disc, and like Glamour, Delirium, and scattered throughout the record. It's always been there, but I'm just giving more free reign to it on this record.
All right. Well, is there going to be a new tour to support it?
We have already confirmed one day for Athens, Greece, and we're going to start planning everything else around that. Yeah, we've been in the studio making all sorts of records from the reissues we've done for the past 5 years. Have included all kinds of new material, and in addition to all that, and this new record, which is 29 songs in its full,
Wow.
incarnation,
Mm-hmm.
I've already written what will be the next two Virgin Steele albums. One is a massive Greek kind of tragedy, and one's a more autumnal, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of concept album, and those are largely tracked, and not everything's completely done, but we've done all the keyboards for the most part, and most of the guitars and stuff. So we've been working like nonstop. So it'd be nice to actually get away from the studio for a while and perform live. I did some dates myself over the past few months here on the island, New York here, and I really enjoyed that. So I'd like to get back to doing more of that.
Wonderful. Do you have anybody that you plan to be touring with, or is it just going to be you guys, or?
I imagine we'll be doing our own shows, and yeah.
Okay.
At this point, we can do that, so why not?
Exactly. Well, for our readers who may not necessarily be conscious of Virgin Steele, could you please give us a brief history about the band?
Sure, I'll try to be brief. Yeah. We began. I guess it's almost 30 years now.
Wow.
We're having an anniversary next year. Yeah, we began in the early '80s, coming together the way musicians do in a small society through like adverts in the local paper kind of a thing. And I knew the bass player, and so that we were kind of a duo, and met a guitar player and a drummer, and started rehearsing for about 3 weeks, and went into the studio, recorded what became the first album less than a week, and for under $1,000, pressed it up and sold the first 5,000 copies, largely from the trunk of my car. And before they were sold out, we had a deal with Music for Nations. In fact, we were MFN1. That was a UK label, and we were later joined on that label by Manowar, by Bristol Fate, Metallica, Rat, Wasp. It was a good label. And then we got deals in the States, and it just kind of progressed from there. Changed members along the way, but the guys who are in the band now, Edward, longtime friend of mine, a guitar player, he's been with me since we were little kids, but he's been in the band officially since I guess '84. The drummer's been with us since '94, so that's quite a long time. And
Wow.
the other guy, Josh, who plays live, he plays bass, but on the records he usually plays 7-string guitar. He's been with us since 2000, so it's a long time.
Nice. Well, what is it? Is there anything about Virgin Steele that you want people to know that they may not know already? I mean, I went through your website, and there's so much information on there, and it's wonderful. But is there anything that kind of sticks out in your mind that you want people to know about you guys?
That we're not the kind of band that's like the heavy metal version of the Kardashians or anything like that. We're not like into fame for fame's sake and all that, and it really doesn't matter to us. That's never been our impetus. We've always been about creating the kind of music that we want to create, and basically we do these things largely for ourselves, and because it's the kind of music we want to hear, and hopefully other people will enjoy it as well. But fame was never our thing. It was just really, and people don't really understand that when I say that, but it's really true. It's sort of about maintaining a way of life, and we've done that, and managed to do that for going on almost 30 years now. So I'd like people to be aware of that fact, that we're not in it for being the flavor of the month and the flash in the pan. We're in it for the music and for the duration, and it's our honest approach. That's it. We just make the music that we want to do when we want to make it.
Awesome. Well, I just wanted to ask a couple of questions actually pertaining to you. So I know that you love to cook and you've been on cooking shows and got a lot out there, but where did you develop your love of cooking?
I guess probably from eating. I guess my mom was a great cook, so I watch her doing stuff and occasionally ask questions. And I think cooking and songwriting goes hand in hand. It's kind of like when I'm writing, there's not a recipe. It's like a bit of this, a bit of that, and then you taste and see how it goes. Same thing with cooking. I don't use a recipe. It's like the blues. There's a lot of improvisation going on, and that's my style. That's the style of the group, and it's how I cook.
All right. Well, who would you say as a vocalist has been your biggest influence musically?
There's been so many wonderful singers that I've really loved over the years, but I think the one thing that really, inspired me, which a lot of people don't realize, is the electric guitar. I want it to sound like a guitar solo, like Jimmy Page or Brian May or Jimi Hendrix or Eddie Van Halen, that kind of thing. That was really largely my impetus. So that's why I do a lot of crazy things that I do. But of course, I love people like Freddie Mercury, Robert Plant, David Coverdale. The list goes on. Phil Mogg, Bon Scott, Mark Bolan. Loved him. So many singers out there that I enjoy.
Wow. Well, who would you say then would be maybe the band? Does the band have a really strong musical influence as a unit?
I think, the common ground between, me and Edward is probably like, and I guess the other guys too, is probably Zeppelin, and Queen. We loved, especially, all the early things, from Queen 2, Queen 1, Sheer Heart Attack, Night at the Opera, all those records, and all the Zeppelin stuff. Physical Graffiti actually was kind of like on my mind a lot when making this Nocturnes album, because not that it's not necessarily their best sounding record, but I just love that record. I love the vibe of that record and that liveness, and I wanted to have that kind of rawness on this new record that we were doing. So that's kind of like in my mind, that and like that album's like the Who Live at Leeds, and that big tom-tom sound that Roger Taylor always got on the Queen records. I always loved that and tried to get that on all of our records, and we finally achieved it on this one.
Awesome. Well, out of, obviously you guys have toured all over the world, but are there any countries that you haven't been able to gain access to that you really want to play in?
There have been some that we have not gone to yet. We haven't been to everywhere in Europe, almost everywhere, I think. I don't think we've ever played in Iceland yet. We've been to Iceland, but I haven't played there yet. We'd like to do that, sure.
Okay. And where would you say your strongest fan base is located?
It's definitely in Europe, places like Greece, Italy, Germany, Spain, even Scandinavia's gotten quite good over the years. So it's the European thing for us.
Okay. And where do you see the band in, say, maybe 3 to 5 years?
Much the same as it is now. Just continuing doing its thing, and just maintaining the lifestyle that we have created and putting out more music and videos and doing dates and like that. If it naturally blows up and gets bigger, so be it. If it doesn't, so be it as well. I think we've established that we're in it for the duration, and we're going to carry on doing what we do the way we do it.
Right. Well, does anybody in the band have any side projects you might want to mention?
Not really at the moment that I can think of. The drummer does a lot of session work for different people. He's kind of like become the new Cozy Powell. I think he plays on a lot of people's records. I'm not quite sure what he's doing right now, though.
Okay. All right. Well, actually, David, that's all I had for you today. We'll go ahead and get this on the website. I really appreciate your time.
My pleasure, Diane. Pleasure talking to you.
Absolutely. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.